Hello everyone. We are now starting with another kingdom, that is kingdom fungi. We all have noticed the cottony growth on a stale piece of leftover bread in front of you. It is a stale piece of bread. It happens with many food items when they are left open, especially in moisture. But have you ever wondered why? The cottony growth is nothing but a set of live cells. Yes, these are fungi. All are eukaryotic, means they have well-defined nucleus. Mostly they are multicellular, but exceptional is also there. Yes, I am talking about yeast. Yeast are unicellular, made up of single cell, and single cell performs all the activities efficiently. Some examples of fungi are toadstools in front of you. It is toadstool. Molds, yeasts, and mushrooms. So all these are mushroom, yeast, molds, and toadstools. These are the examples of fungi. They grow best in places where warmth and moisture are available. Fungi differ from plants. Why? Because they do not contain chlorophyll. As you know that plants contain chlorophyll, and because of chlorophyll they can prepare their own food. But what about fungi? They do not contain chlorophyll, so they cannot participate in photosynthesis process. They never produce seeds, and their cells wall are made of chitin, not cellulose. In plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose, but what about fungi? Their cell walls are made up of chitin, which is a type of complex sugar. Most fungi are decomposers. They live on decaying organisms. Main function of decomposers are they break down the organic matter into simpler form. They are also known as saprophytes because they feed on dead decaying organic matter. Examples of saprophytic fungi are bread molds and mushrooms. Some fungi are parasites because they derive their food from other living organisms. In this, we can take example. The fungi are those that cause rust and smut diseases in plants, and the ones that cause ringworm disease in animals. Do you know, students, what is the main difference between parasites or saprophytes? Parasites are those who depend on living organisms, and saprophytes are those who depend on dead and decaying matter. Fungi reproduce asexually by fragmentation, asexual and sexual reproduction by spores, asexually by budding, and sexual reproduction by spores. Like bacteria, some fungi are useful. Example yeast, while some are harmful also, like toadstools. Let's discuss about some useful fungi. Many saprophytic fungi decompose plants and animals' debris and continuously remove it from the man's environment. And that is the reason why fungi are also called nature's scavengers. Clear, children? This also helps in making the soil fertile also. During this process, they also liberate a large amount of carbon dioxide, which is used by the green plants for the synthesis of food by photosynthesis. Decomposition of organic waste also result in the formation of humus, which is needed for the growth of plants. Edible fungi, edible means which we can eat. There are about 200 species of fungi which are used as food. We also eat mushrooms. The most important which we use as food are mushroom, that is agaricus, puffballs and morels. These are used by us as food. Mushrooms are very rich source of vitamins, and they are delicious in taste also. We like mushrooms very much because they are very tasty. Yeast is used in the production of bakery products. For baking bread, yeast along with a little sugar is mixed with flour to make dough. The dough is kept in a warm place. The yeast uses the sugar present in the dough as food. When we mix sugar in flour, that sugar is used by yeast as a food. During the process of breaking down of sugar, carbon dioxide and alcohol are formed, which make the dough rise. When the bread is baked, alcohol and carbon dioxide escape from the loaf, making it light and fluffy. Similarly, idli and dosa are made from a mixture of ground dal and rice. After a few hours, the mixture rises and becomes fluffy and light. This is because of the action of yeast. Vitamins are the micronutrients required for the growth of living organisms. Micronutrients means nutrients which is required in a small quantity. So we need in small quantities for the proper functioning of metabolism. Yeast, which is a type of fungus, is used in the manufacture of vitamins. So you can see that how fungi are useful in manufacturing of vitamins also. Antibiotics are the metabolic products of some microorganisms which are active against other microorganisms. Clear, children? So penicillin, an antibiotic, is obtained from penicillium. Clear? Penicillin, which is an antibiotic used as medicine, obtained from penicillium, and this penicillin is effective in destroying many kinds of disease causing bacteria. Fungi are also useful in production of alcohol. Alcohol and many alcoholic drinks are produced by a process called fermentation. Do you know, children, what is fermentation? It is the process by which carbohydrates are changed into alcohols and carbon dioxide by bacteria or yeast under anaerobic conditions. Is it clear? In this case, the yeast respires without oxygen and produces alcohol. Wine is prepared by fermentation of grapes. Clear? And beer by fermentation of barley. Clear, children? Wine is prepared by fermentation of grapes and beer by fermentation of barley. Fungi are also useful in the production of citric acid. The fungus Aspergillus is a fungus which is used in the production of citric acid. Citric acid is mostly added to jams, jellies, candies, and even meat products as a preservative. Basically, bacteria are unable to grow in acidic environment. Therefore, citric acid preserves the food from bacteria and longer the shelf life of the food. If we talk about flavors, Aspergillus, which is a fungus, and Penicillium also, a type of fungus, both are added to cheese to give a special type of flavors. Now we will talk about some harmful fungi. Some fungi are very harmful for plants and animals. They attack on tissues of plants and animals and cause diseases. If we talk about animals, that athlete's foot, ringworm, fungal meningitis, all these are due to fungi. It is mold. Mold spores get into your nose and can cause allergy symptoms. It can cause allergies in some people, leading to sneezing, sniffling, and other respiratory problems. When molds get into lungs, then it creates respiratory problems like asthma. In front of you there is a picture in which you can see a type of infection. It is due to the fungus, that is tinea. Tinea is a type of fungal infection of the hair, skin or nails. These infections are usually not serious, but they can be uncomfortable. In picture you can see athlete's foot infection that usually appears between the toes but can also affect the toe nails. You can see in the figure. It also affects the toe nails. So athlete's foot is another fungal infection. Ringworm is another fungal disease in humans caused by the fungus Microsporium. This is the picture of Microsporium, which causes ringworm. Fungi attack on plants and cause many types of diseases like red rot of sugarcane, which is in front of you, early blight of potato, leaf spots of wheat, and smut in corn. Some mushrooms are not edible because they are poisonous, like toadstools, which is in front of you, and amanita. Some fungi damage leather, shoes, leather bags, clothes, paper and paper products. Some fungi damage leather products like leather bag, leather shoes, clothes, paper and paper products. Now we will discuss about molds. In rainy season, generally we can see a cottony mass on moist bread, books, clothes and other things at home. This cottony mass is mold, a type of fungus. Rhizopus and mucor. Both are two common bread molds that grow on bread and other organic matter such as fruits, vegetables. So, mucor and rhizopus are two common bread molds. Now we will discuss the structure of molds. Molds are microscopic fungi composed of long filaments called hyphae. This structure is hyphae. This one. Hyphae are thin filaments containing cytoplasm and nuclei. You can see in the figure, this is cytoplasm and nuclei. Nuclei is the plural form and nucleus is singular form. So if so many nucleus are there, then we say nuclei. Moles hyphae grow into a cottony mass called a mycelium. Mycelium is the vegetative part of a fungus consisting of a mass of branching thread-like hyphae. If you will take single, then it is known as hypha. Clear, children? When you will take single, then it is known as hypha, single one. And if you will take more filaments, then it is known as hyphae. Clear, children? Now you can see mycelium in the figure. Mycelium is the vegetative part of a fungus and it consists of mass of branching thread-like hyphae. Clear? So this is mycelium. Through the mycelium, a fungus absorbs nutrients from its environment. Bread molds are heterotrophic. Basically, they are saprophytes. In saprophytic nutrition, the organisms obtain their food from dead and decaying organic matter of dead plants, dead animals, and other decomposing organic matter. So they obtain their food from the surface on which they grow with the help of hyphae. In moles, respiration is brought about in the presence of oxygen, that is aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is a type of respiration in which organisms respire in the presence of oxygen. Reproduction in moles. Moles reproduce by both asexual method and sexual method. Asexual reproduction takes place by spore formation. Spores are very simple in structure. You can see in the figure. These are spores. You can see another structure also, children. This one, round shaped structure. This round shaped structure is known as sporangium. Inside sporangium, spores are present. Clear, children? You can see this spores which are present inside sporangium. When sporangium burst, when it gets mature and burst, then spores are released in the air and then they germinate. These spores germinate to produce a new mold colony under suitable conditions of moisture and temperature. Clear, children? When spores get suitable condition of moisture and temperature, then they germinate to produce a new mold colony.